Hello, welcome to this session. I'm sorry to say that my voice is not that good today. I've been talking too much the last couple of days and especially last night at the excellent party. So I'm sorry. I hope that you can understand me and hear me if my voice fails. So I'm sorry. My name is Marianne Weinreich. I'm a mobility consultant. I have worked with mobility and cycling for the last 10 years. The last 2 at the company Växjö. I've worked with cycling as my speciality. I've worked with it in Denmark as well as in several EU projects like Target, Bike, Mobilis and Biped. And I'm also a Biped auditor. I don't know if you know the quality system. And I'm the vice chairman of the Cycling Embassy of Denmark, which you may have heard about. Today, I will share with you the methodologies which is developed and tested by the 11 Nordic cities in the project Nordic Cycle Cities. It's an Interact project, and I'm the lead partner advisor for the project, and that's why I will be talking about it today. During the past year, these 11 Nordic municipalities from Denmark, Norway and Sweden in the Kattegat-Skagerrak region have worked together to build a strong network to increase cycling, the modal split of cycling in the region, but especially in the local municipalities. The cities are Frederikshavn, which is a lead partner, Viborg, Silkeborg and Randers from Denmark, and from Norway, from Norway, that's that one. We have Kristiansand and Sandefjord, and from Sweden, Varberg, Mölndal, Svenljunga, Tranemo and Mariestad. So it's a big project with 11 cities. The 11 municipalities are very different, geographical, topographical and demographical, and have very different experiences with promoting cycling. Their experiences depend, among other things, of local cycling culture, national traditions, cycle traffic legislation, local political focus, and differences in organization and resources. And the modal split is also very different in the cities. In the Danish cities, the modal split is between 16 to 25%, in the Swedish around 10%, and in the Norwegian cities about 6%. Despite their differences, they have come together with the common goal to keep the cyclists that they already have on their bikes and to have more cyclists on the bikes, to get people moving on 2 wheels instead of 4. And the purpose is, of course, to reduce the CO2 emissions from traffic, prevent congestion, and improve health conditions. The 11 municipalities share also a common challenge, and they need to shift gears and work more integrated and systematically with cycling instead of just ad hoc planning. So they need to get cycling on the political agenda, as Gil Penalosa talked about. This is it's a political issue. And they also have to have an organization that can do the work afterwards, do the action. And in Denmark, as well as internationally, all experiences show that there's some critical issues, some critical factors that need to be addressed if you want to increase the modal split of cycling. It's very important to create political commitment, as Gil also stated very clearly, and to establish a formal organization that can carry out the visions of the politicians. Because without the political commitment and a formal organization, planning cannot be anything but ad hoc. It cannot be integrated or systematic if it isn't committed politically. It's also important to involve the different stakeholders that are part of the community. And it is within the council, different departments that work with health and climate change and environmental issues. They have to work together towards a common goal. But it's also all the private and NGO stakeholders in the city that can help and build a strong base and give the visions and actions resources. And it's also very important about documentation, to document and evaluate what your progress is. Because one, you can show the politicians that what you're doing is working, or if it isn't working, you can learn how to be better. And you cannot do that if you don't evaluate and look at and document your results. So that knowledge is really important, and that knowledge also needs to be shared with others, because it's just crazy that everybody is inventing the wheel. We have to work together. So that's also in the method and competence development phase. And that network is part of that. And to make sure that all these critical success factors are addressed in this project, all the partner cities have to produce 3 very important documents. They have to create a local bicycle strategy where they set up political goals and visions for what they want to accomplish within a time frame that they decide. Is the vision for 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years? And they need afterwards to create an action plan which clearly states how they are going to reach the political goals, how the organization is going to make sure that the goals are really going to happen. And also, they have to do 2 bicycle accounts. You may have heard about this. It's the city of Copenhagen have done bicycle accounts for the last 12 years, and many other Danish cities are now doing so-called bicycle accounts, where you take the key numbers in cycling and you ask the citizens what they think about how satisfied they are with the city, what they do, where they cycle, where they go, because it's about the people, as we heard all through yesterday. This is about the people. So it's important to come out and ask the citizens what they think. And of course, the knowledge sharing part is being part of a project like this. But since the creation of the document in itself is but only a means to get some action done and to create political focus and commitment and resources, it's not the document in itself that's important. It is also the process in which the documents are written and created. So in this project, the 11 partners have worked together to create what we call a process plan for the development of these 3 documents, one for each of the 3 documents. And they have worked together, and you could call the process plans like a cookbook on how to have this process of creating this is the cookbook for the cycling strategy. And it's a simplified version, and it's the version they done in common, but every city then had to adapt this overall cookbook to their local conditions, because it's not copy-paste, like Gil also said. It's about adapting a solution to the local situation. So they have all 11 used this cookbook and then created their own process that fitted their local situation. And of course, it's like a cook. He adds some spice of his own, even though he has a recipe in front of him. And that's the same thing the municipalities have done. They have added their own special touch to this overall general process plan. And in this plan, as you can see, it has been very important to have the different stakeholders involved in different phases of this process. So there has been stakeholder involvement here 2 times. And finally, it had to be a political, there had to be a political enactment. The politicians have to say, yes, this is what we want. Because otherwise, they can just say, no, you wrote this, but we don't want to do that. The 11 action plans will, when they are ready, consist of a list of focus areas, which will cover both infrastructural measures as well as communicational measures. And within the framework of the project, the partners will have also implemented some of the measures they have written in their action plan. And they focus on better service for cyclists, because it's very important that the urban space sends an invitation to the cyclist, saying you're welcome. And a city can do that by putting up facilities that makes it more fun and attractive and easy to be a cyclist in a city. And that can be, of course, cyclists. I'm not talking about infrastructure here, because that, of course, has to be there and it has to be safe. But I'm talking about things like bicycle parking, or air pumps, or the cyclist counters, water fountains, good signing, all that creates a city that says you count, the cyclist, you count, you're appreciated. They also focus on safety and on commuters and on children, because you have to create these habits of cycling at a young age and have to learn children to have fun with a bicycle from an early age. At the end of the project, a local concept and a concept for local and regional cycling promotion will be developed based upon the experiences from the project. It will be known as the Nordic way, and it's about the method is doing these 3 documents: the strategy, the action plan, and follow up and evaluate through the bicycle accounts. And when they have done all those documents and have evaluated the results, we will do like a cookbook that is going to be distributed internationally that says this is kind of the Nordic way. And then it's up to all of you who doesn't live in the Nordic countries to try and see if you can adapt some of the lessons learned from this project into your local situation. The project runs until the end of 2011, and it's co-financed by the Interreg project. And of course, the cities hope that they will continue to work together after this project. They are kind of halfway through now. They have done the strategy, working on the action plans right now, and are going to implement some of the different measures in the the next month. So if you have any more questions, you can ask clarification questions now, but later there will be time to elaborate more on the project. Any? Yes? 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
And for whom? For the city or for the state? Or is this a private?
This is an EU Interreg project where the municipalities, the councils have made a commitment to work together, and they got co-financing from the Interreg, the EU program in the Kattegat-Skagerrak region. So they contribute with their time, and the EU gives them the other half in money.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
What criteria was the cities chosen for
They
the project?
they had to be in the region.
Right.
It's not the whole of Denmark that can participate in this program. And they had to have the will to engage in. We talked with a lot of municipalities in the region, and this is the 11 who signed up and said we want to do this. And they are all they are not the front runner cities of their countries, but they are really committed to getting good results done. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.